Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids147. Let's get another section of walking in the rain done. Give you an update on a few different things that have been going on. But first up, let's just zoom in, scoot over, try and get it middle-ish, and let's get some diamonds in the tray. So I'm going to start, of course, with the symbols that are not black and see where we go from there. So yeah, I have done a video on ordering my diamonds for my Heaven and Earth design. So if you are remember, that video is actually up for you guys to see, but that will go, that's actually probably the earliest video I have ever uploaded, because that will form part of the Thursday series. So once this is finished, then and dekitted, then that video will go up ready for, of course, me to start my Heaven and Earth design project. But yeah, it has been done and ordered, which means we are a go with Heaven and Earth design being my next project. So yeah, all that's been sorted. I have also, just a little heads up for later on this week, I have completed all apart from my last strip of cover paper for on the last day. So Sunday will be the last instalment of that. It's like we're getting very close to all the finishes. So that's the sort of good news. On the other news aspect is delays. I received a message yesterday from Diamond Art Studio, who we are partnering with again this year, to bring our Advent paintings, and they are still stuck. It's the longest any have ever been stuck, or anything has ever gone on like this. There's a whole story behind it, but to be honest, it's not, one, it's not my story to tell, and second, I'm not quite sure how correct the information is. Not from Sam, just to be clear, not from Diamond Art Studio UK, but the freight forwarder. Not quite sure how much I believe the story, so I'm not going to relay false information, that's for sure. But suffice to say, it is not here yet. Sam is doing what she can to see whether potential remake would be quicker, all the rest of it, but yeah, we are still very much on hold. So the big launch at the moment is an I don't know when, basically. I don't know when we are going to be able to launch that. I've been thinking about it over the last day or so. I got told late on yesterday, the latest update. So yeah, my thought is we will potentially, Megan's currently on holiday in Cornwall, so I'm going to check with her this upcoming, when she's back this weekend. But my thought is we may release the autumn and Halloween cover paper, because it's very close to being autumn. We've actually had nice weather this week, but there's a lot of places that are definitely getting autumn weather, and of course Halloween is getting ever closer. So I think we'll release that cover paper, because anybody who is wanting to wait and potentially get that with the diamond paintings when they arrive, we'll be able to do so. There's no limited stock in any way on that. So it won't stop people waiting if they want to, but if people do want it for any particular events or anything like that, they can get hold of it. And then we are very much going to play it by ear. If we feel we do need to release some of the other items sooner, we will of course let you know. But that's my initial thought. So social media will be the best place for an update. Though, of course, I will give you an update here as and when I can. But bear in mind, the likes of Sunday's WIP and Waffle, I actually will be filming that this week, probably tomorrow. So I'm not going to have much more information than I do today. So, yeah, that is the sucks news of the week. I am trying to very much take it in my stride. Still very much beavering away in the background, doing lots and lots of restocks, trying to make sure that everything that I can possibly do before they turn up is done. Yeah, so that we can go as soon as they are here. But yeah, I have no idea when that will be. I still think it will be there will be plenty of time before the December Advent event for items to get to you. We do September, we normally do a September launch, which is like really early for when you need it. But we also do that because we know people then switch their mind to buying Christmas presents and all that sort of jazz. So yeah, we're not worried about time and it getting to people. Most of our shipments arrive within a week, maximum 2. So there's plenty of time before the beginning of December. But yeah, it sucks. What I can say though is Kim sent me the most amazing email that I actually read after I got the message update on the kits. So I had a massive downer kind of message followed by an absolutely glorious one that very nearly brought me to tears of happiness. So thank you so much, Kim, for your timing. And yeah, I just thank you all so much for your support and your patience. And as soon as we have information and we can get going, we will let you know. It should have been here nearly 4 weeks ago. So yeah, longest delay it's decided to have. Oh, I've missed some of that lead away. Yeah, longest delay ever. So, always happens with shipments that people are expecting and are timed for a certain time. Do they not? They don't happen to those, new products that we only decide we're going to release after they've turned up and don't mention them beforehand. Couldn't happen to one of those. No, it's not the way things work, is it? So yeah, stay tuned. I will give you updates as soon as we have them. We're not going to guesstimate any dates now. We're not going to say we're pushing it back by another X number of weeks. Because the way the shipment's been messed about so far, and it is a whole train, by the way. This is not just our shipments, it is a whole train full of shipments that has this issue. So yeah, we're just not going to push back any dates now, and I hope that by not making any planned dates, we'll speed things up. We can hope, can we not? But yeah, otherwise, I'm going to continue on getting things prepped. I have my first sew day on Saturday. It's 3 full days, September, one in September, one in October and one in November. I have my first one on Saturday, my first little social. So we shall see how that goes. I did get I got actually quite a bit of Caris's quilt done over the weekend. I actually had some energy left after getting my nails and everything done to make a start. Plough through some more on the Sunday. Can't say my house looks the best for it, but you know, sometimes you just have to say, I'll just give it an extra nice dusting next week. So that'll probably be my job either one evening this week or next Sunday. But yeah, I just decided the dusting could wait. I was happy. Happy quilting. And then this week I've been diamond painting and got the other sections of On the Last Day done. So I will be finishing that with you guys for Sunday's WIP and Waffle, which means there will be another kitting up coming soon, which will be great. I feel like that one has been going on for just a little bit too long. I may try and squeeze in some sections of this. I'm going to play it a little bit by ear. So I've ordered 2 canvases for my Heaven and Earth design and all the diamonds. I actually ended up ordering all the diamonds for both of my Heaven and Earth designs. I know one's major early, but I'd done the Excel spreadsheet and worked out all the list and just decided, you know what, I'm just going to order them all. So I have those on their way as well, which means the next time I work on a Heaven and Earth design, there'll be no prep required. I basically just put all the numbers into an Excel spreadsheet and then got Excel to divide them by 160 for me and tell me how many bags. And then I added into a column next to it, I rounded them up to make sure that I had enough. I actually want to do this symbol first because I feel like this one's a little bit more visible. There it is. Yeah, so as soon as they actually turn up, then I will definitely feel as though I can work on walking in the rain a little bit outside of filming and potentially speed up the process a little bit. I know there will be at least a week, of course, of me de-kitting it, if not 2. We'll see how we go. It's a lot of diamonds to de-kit. And then, of course, the kitting up and the prep for the Heaven and Earth designs will also take a week or 2 to go through those. So, yeah, I might try and squeeze in another 1 or 2 of these because I won't be able to work on the last day. But I don't want to do too much and get this to the point of finish and not have my Heaven and Earth diamonds being here. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, fun few weeks, de-kitting, kitting ups and all the rest of it. I'm very excited to see what painting it is I'll be doing next. I'm also very excited to finish on the last day on and do that WIP and Waffle as well. So all good. Right, comments, questions, etc. So I actually have one here from Susan. This one I think actually came through. I think did it come through from last week's? Shortly, I'm not sure, I'm trying to think. I can't actually tell which one it was. Oh, hang on. 5th of September. So yeah, this one actually, I think this comment came through just after I'd finished filming last week's video. So it is from the week before last. But Susan, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says she's glad to hear that me and hubby had a great getaway. Thank you. She said, turns out her little family did the same. So 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, they decided to go. They packed up a bag of clothes, loaded up their caravan and went to the seaside. She says it wasn't the best idea though. Bless. She says there was gale force winds, 100 kilometres per hour, and thunder and lightning, she says, and lots of rain. A very rough day and night. She says they just ended up spending the whole time in the caravan. Oh, bless. Well, it's a story, if nothing else. It's a story to remember in the future. Do you remember that time we decided to go? And it just rained the whole time. Sometimes you have to go through these experiences just for the story, Susan. Cat Lady, she says, hi Rebecca. She says they have now put their house back on the market. She says their buyer hasn't had any interest, so they've put theirs on the open market. She said their sellers kept their property, so who they're buying from, kept their property off the market for a week, but put it back on open market this Monday, and it's sold immediately. She says, so they have to find another. Oh, that is absolutely gutting. Gutting. The UK house market is shocking. I think everybody in the UK believes that it's shocking. I am hoping that you find something better. Better, more ideal, cheaper. All those things, or most of those things, that make the whole process a reason behind the whole fiasco, should we say. You need to order your diamond painting now, Cat Lady, because there's no way the UK housing market would be able to beat the international postage. International postage will beat the UK housing market hands down every single time. Blossom Chops says she too loves Mary Higgins Clark. She says, so thank you. She says, because that's another author she can add to her Audible. I did actually have a look for that series because I've recently finished my reread of J.D. Robb. And unfortunately, the first two are not available on Audible. I haven't yet had a chance to see if I can find somewhere that they are available, because I don't want to start in the middle of a good series on book 3. I would much rather start from the beginning, so I do need to look into that. However, I will say an Audible original, is it called The Neighbours or just Neighbours? It's a free one. It's a free, included in your Audible subscription. So Audible included original called Neighbours, or The Neighbours. Really enjoyed that book. It's one of those, it had little twists and stuff. It was easy listening. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed that one. So don't forget to check out the ones that are sort of free or included in your Audible subscription every now and then. I've actually found quite a few good series to listen to from that. There's a Kate Fox series. I can't remember who writes it, but it's the Kate Fox series, and for some reason I really enjoy that one too. I actually couldn't tell you why, but I do. And yeah, the free ones can be great. They're sort of my in-between until I have a bit more time to sort of stop, think, and really look into maybe which ones I want to use my credits for next. At the moment, the credits that I accumulated while re-listening to JD Robb have gone on the most recent JD Robb, the pre-order of the JD Robb for February, and a pre-order of the next Kate Fox, as well as the Kate Fox that came out while I was listening to JD Robb. There's a few other series that have actually had updates since as well, but I just want to double check they are ones that, you know, I'm really interested in continuing the story. So once I've listened to a few of these free ones, I think I might go back and listen to some of the series that I've already got, and then if need be continue with books that have come out since. That makes sense. But yeah, that was a very long-winded way from that. I may also look at some of the older Mary Higgins Clark that's just her writing. The problem is many of them, it's not until like I start listening to the story or part way through the story and I'll be like, oh, I know what happens with this one. And sometimes the good part about Mary Higgins Clark is not knowing what's come up. Pinky, she says hi. She says, oh, she says this is coming to an end soon. She says it looks lovely. She says, and the colours are very pretty together. She says winter is coming for sure. She says it feels like it down on the south coast. She says she is kitting up a 30 by 40 waterfall one soon. She says maybe Saturday, and she'll probably start doing it on Sunday. Fun kitting up times. Yes, I well and truly thought autumn was here, and we have had 21 degrees and clear blue skies today. We are actually due 22 degrees tomorrow. Typical UK weather. We're actually in for a stretch of really nice weather this week, so we shall see what happens. My aim is to find the bottom of my washing basket again. Megan did really well while we were away, but then we had quite a bit of rain, and while we got a few loads out on the Era, it backed up a little bit. So my aim this week is to get through every speck of washing in the house, because the girls will be bringing back enough when they come back from Cornwall. All 3 girls have gone to Cornwall. So yeah, I want to try and fight that before they get back and bring back a tornado of washing. Though Catherine, it is Freshers Week for her this week, but she's gone to Cornwall because she wants to go on holiday with her sisters and with some of the other family members that have gone, and I don't blame her. So she's skipping Freshers Week. She said she didn't really do anything the last 2 years anyway. She can always go out with her friends on a normal day. Heather, she says she loves Corris Craft Centre, which is at the King Arthur's Labyrinth. Yes, it's a lovely place up there. She says she has a dragon that puffs out incense. From there, she says that she bought maybe 15, 16 years ago. She says so many memories from holidays there. Yeah, I've got a like a bowl, a glass bowl, absolutely gorgeous. Bought it there probably about the same amount of time, so 15 years, maybe 13, 14 years, but definitely a long time ago. Unfortunately, I don't think there is a glass blowing place there, but it's not the same place that I picked it up from. There must have been 2 at the time, but the place that does the wood and all that sort of stuff's still there, and they now have a pet place, which is where we picked up a toy and a treat for Luna. But yeah, it's lovely to wander around, and there were so many things that I really liked. Just didn't have a spot in my head to say this is where that could go. So I very much behaved myself on that front. Lady Dax, she says she's looking forward to my Heaven and Earth design setup video. She thinks she's going to need some help, she says, sorting one out if she goes ahead. She says she hopes the Advent paintings arrive soon. So do I. I really do hope that all of a sudden things have actually moved in the background, and the next update is they're going to be here very soon, and that things have actually moved and just the information hasn't filtered down. That's kind of what I think I'm tricking myself with at the moment. That yeah, they're just all of a sudden going to appear because something was happening. We can only hope, can we not? Julianne, she says she ordered from my shop, she says, for the first time last week. Thank you. She said it came so fast, she says, and she loves it. She got the dinos and blue butterfly sheets. Blue Butterfly Garden is one of my favourites. She says she also got 2 scented putties in black cherry and zesty lemon. She says they smell amazing, and they are so much better, she says, than the wax that comes with the kits. And she loves the thickness, she says, of the cover sheets. She says thank you for the amazing video and she hopes I'm doing well. Oh, thank you. Yes, I am doing well. I mean, it helps that my cover paper prep is done. Sometimes I feel like I spend my life preparing cover paper sheets, but yeah, I spent 3 days, because there was a couple of days last week, maybe 4 days. I prep a small amount of every new cover paper design that we're coming out with to sort of take the edge off a new launch, but we never quite know which ones are going to sell better than others. So I always print, say, an amount of each, and then on launch weekend when we do prep is when I prepare the rest. And every single time I say I'm going to prepare the cover paper for the printers, because it comes to us on a big roll, like 100-meter length roll of cover paper. And yeah, I always try and trim it down and do like one roll, or I'll have trimmed down a roll a week before, and I'll be like, okay, that'll be plenty. And I should learn by now, because it either is just enough, and then as soon as all the launch orders have gone out, I have to cut another roll, or it's not quite enough to do all the orders and I have to cut another roll. So because we have lined up for a release our September, well, what will now probably be October cover paper designs, autumn, Halloween and Christmas, which will be coming soon. Also, we have the numbered 1 to 24 for the paintings whenever they turn up. I decided to get super prepped this time. I was like, right, I'm going to cut 3 rolls down, 3 100-meter rolls down. So 300 meters of cover paper I'm going to get ready for the printer. I actually ended up doing 5. And I prepped, all the first lots of cover paper for autumn, Christmas, September, October and Halloween. So yeah, I've had a very, very busy few days doing cover paper. I've now had enough. Today I've been doing cardstock, bagging up the 20 lots of cardstock, the cardstock for the spare storage. I've also been printing and restocking logbooks and bookmarks today. I've done quite a few different bits. So I've been feeding things into the laminator, shifting things off the printer as they print certain things, while also counting and bagging cardstock. I have officially finished one job, but I have bitten a chunk out of 2 more. So yeah, it's been a very, very much a prep week this week, which is probably why I'm going through so many Audible books, because I just put those on in the background. But yeah, we're prepping as much as we can. I can't prep the 1 to 24 cover paper because I haven't physically got one in my hand. We're as sure as we can be that we've got the right size, but if I print and cut a load of it, then you bet your life it'll be like a centimetre or so off. So I'm not doing it to myself, but I have prepped the paper for going in the printer, so I'm proud of that. Okay, let's go back to comments. Gadget Girl, she says, hi there, Rebecca and Zesties. She says she just wanted to ask if I've ever made my own Mod Podge. She said that may be a tip or trick. No, didn't even realise you could necessarily make your own Mod Podge. But no, that isn't something that I have done, I will say. Hang on, let me just grab... which shelf are these on? I've got so many tray storage bits. Oh, there they are. And I've not put my other one up, but I keep meaning to grab my trash tray, but I want my matching trash tray. Just to fish out some of these that are stuck together or the wrong colour. Yeah, no, I didn't even realise you could make your own Mod Podge. To be honest though, I've never actually used Mod Podge on anything. Unless I've used it in some other form and not the actual brand name. I know some people swear by it and use it for loads, but even when I was scrapbooking, I never actually used Mod Podge for any project. I'll have to have a look into that. Kim... She says she did the Diamond Art Studio Christmas Mystery Advent. She says using the markup app. She said it wouldn't recognise the legend, so she had to manually enter in the DMC numbers. She said it was a bit of a pain, but maybe she said it's because she wasn't sure of what she was doing. She says even though she watched their instruction videos on YouTube, she said it was probably user error, not program error. We shall see. Sometimes it is the different format of the charts can make a difference. I haven't actually messed with that yet. I haven't messed with markup to see how it takes my Heaven and Earth design chart. But once you got the chart in to markup and messed about with the DMC numbers, how did you find it after that, Kim? Like, was it easy enough on the general use? Just my iPad is always, one, easier to charge and more likely to be charged. Whereas my Android tablet that I just used for my Heaven and Earth design, I would constantly forget to charge that thing. So that's the main thing that's making me go, do I try markup? Because my iPad's just always handy. That reminds me, I got my quilting mags on there, and since my holiday I don't think I've read any, so I should probably do that soon too. Dimitri says, hey Rebecca and all the zesties. Hey to you too. So thank you so much for this beautiful video. They love the design so much and my personality. Thank you. If you'd have seen me dragging my bum off the couch to come and do this video. My plan was to do this video today and then once I'd done this video in the day, then go and do some of the cardstock logbooks, etc. However, because it has been 21 degrees, we have had lawnmowers, strimmers and all sorts of what sounds like somebody potentially doing some sort of construction or DIY. We've had all those noises. And because the girls are in Cornwall and the boys were at work, I'd have needed to leave the door open for Luna while I did the video, which meant you would have just heard all those noises in the background. So I decided to focus on doing shop stuff and of course my loads of washing and to film it tonight. But after eating me tea, I didn't want to move me bum, but I did, so it's all good. She says the skull is almost done. 3 parts to go. We well and truly have a lot of finishes going on over here this week. They wish us a good day and shalom. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, amazing work on a finish, which you've probably finished already. I keep trying to think, do I go for a particular type of painting when I've finished on the last day, or do I let my decision wheel decide? And then I think I've decided my decision wheel's going to decide, because I see pluses and minuses to each and every option. So doing a 30 by 40 or a smaller one will be a great sort of quick win. Doing a big round one will be a quicker painting to get through. However, squares, I have loads of them, so it's also good to, of course, get some more of those done. So yeah, I think I'm just going to let my decision wheel decide, because that's also exciting for me too. I love coming in to film a video and not knowing which one I'm kitting up at all. Nellie says, hi Rebecca. She says she's just wondering if I'm going to do my project on a tablet. She enjoyed watching me do my 4-1 on it. Yes, my Heaven and Earth design I will be doing using a tablet. So it will be a little bit different to this. To doing this standard one. I will be working on a blank canvas. It is a poured glue one. So I have ordered 2, one from Evermoment and one from another company that did confirm to me it was poured glue. 2 different prices on them. But yeah, I got 2 canvases, of which I'll decide which one I'm going to do it on. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do it. I am really excited to sort of get going on that one as well. It'll be fun to be doing that something a little bit different. This one hopefully won't take 4 years. Whether I'll be working on it off camera, probably be the same as walking in the rain. When I'm in between projects, and I want to diamond paint on an evening, I will either decide to work on some of my long project, or I'll do some paint gem minis. I'll do one or the other. Yeah, it should be good. Carrie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, yay for another WIP and Waffle. Oh, she said, this weekend has been a bit stressful. Not good. We don't like stress. We're trying to get rid of it. She says on Wednesday they brought their youngest dog to the vet. And got some heartbreaking news. Apparently, unfortunately, his bladder cancer's back. She says so he's having surgery again on October the 7th to hopefully get rid of it. They won't know if it's in the right place to be removed until they're in there. So they're going in with blind hope. Keep that blind hope. Sometimes it's all we have. So they've set up a fundraiser to hopefully raise a little bit of money towards it. They do have good news. She does have good news though as well. Today she got cleared to walk without her boot. Woohoo! We'll take the good news, and the rest, all our thoughts are with the young pup or the young dog. She says, so yay for normal shoes for the first time in 7 months. Goodness me, you've just got yourself a whole new shoe wardrobe. Amazing. She says she has to take it slow, small steps, and if her leg or foot gets too sore and tired, then she needs to put the boot on for a while. She says thank you for this little break from the stress. She appreciates it so much. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope everything goes all the best, and that everything is cleared and you can start your travel journey of no stress. Onwards and upwards is what we want. Amanda, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, how do you become a member of the channel? In the description of the video, which I do know if you're on mobile can sometimes be a little bit hard to sort of find. It's like under the first 2 lines there's like a little more bird part to see the whole description. I do then have like a join link there. I did look into it the other night as well, because I've noticed some channels that I watch that have the member option have a join button like right next to the subscribe button, like they're all like in the same place. Doesn't look to be something that I can turn on. It seems to be something that YouTube decides when you can have, or whether it's by a certain country. Certain countries can have it and other countries can't. I can't quite figure it out. I did try and look it all up, but of course you try and Google the whole join YouTube, be a member of YouTube join button. All it talks about is buying a YouTube subscription so you don't have ads. You know, and the people you watch get a little percentage of that sort of revenue instead, and they don't have to watch the adverts. Yeah, that's all it brings up for me. It doesn't bring up anything on that join button. So there is a link to it though in my description of the video, of how you can become a member if you want, but you will still get all the videos. They'll just be a bit later. Excuse me. Liv says, hello Zesties. Just picking up multiple diamonds there. She says, thank you for the birthday wishes, Melissa. She said she had a lovely day. Awesome to hear. She said she got back last night from Cornwall, so she's just had a lazy day today. She says, off for a Chinese tonight with the family. Oh, that's a good meal out. Love a good Chinese. We often have a Chinese with all the family on Christmas Eve. It's become the new sort of tradition. It's just to get takeaway Chinese and just chill. No more all the older ones go in the pub and the younger ones staying at home. It's all about Chinese or chippy tea So whether you want sausage and chips or whatever, you can get that as well, because most, if it's not a Chinese restaurant and it's just takeaway Chinese, they often do. They're often in a chippy, or do chips as well, basic chips and fish and all the rest of it. But if there's an option for Chinese, I'll have it. Right, I've actually got to the end of the comments from last week, and I'm not even filming this like well in advance. I'm filming this on Wednesday. So I've scrolled down to the older comments from on the last day. So hopefully the comments I'm reading out are from people who actually watch both videos. Though having said that, I am doing bigger sections on this video at the minute, aren't I? So this is taking longer than a normal whip and waffle might take. Or a normal Thursday whip and waffle might take. Or maybe I just didn't ramble about my week too much. Who knows? But hopefully anybody who's commented on older Sunday waffles watches the Thursday ones as well. Blossom Chops does. She says she chose geography at school. She says, but in hindsight, she does wish that she had done history. She says, as nowadays, she finds that far more interesting. Yeah, I just didn't want to learn. What was it in geography that turned me off? It was like all the wind and weather stuff that sort of went with it. And I was just like, nah, not interested. And the other option, I think, was RE. It was religious education, geography or history that you got to choose from. So history was sort of my best of the pick of a bad bunch, as it always is. You'd always want to choose different options than what they gave you as options. But yeah, like it was enjoyable. How much I've retained, I have no idea. Probably about the same amount as I have of some of the more complex maths, which is nothing. Blossom Chops also says, she likes onion vinegar on her chips. She says, however she's having them, she just wants onion vinegar. We like to add chicken salt as well, that we have from Australia. Chicken salt is amazing. I haven't gone hunting. You probably can get it in the UK. You can probably get it on the likes of Amazon or something now. But chicken salt is just, unique. Kaz, she says, hi Rebecca. So a month ago, she finished work at 8:30. She says hubby came to collect her and they went out for dinner. Oh, you gotta love a nice impromptu night out for dinner. Sounds amazing. Matthews, if I've said that right, I do apologise. He says, hey Rebecca and Zesties, thank you so much for your whip and waffle today, which is, they've watched it on the 12th of August. So we're getting there. We're getting very close to just being a month behind. They love the painting, the on the last day painting, and they love my videos and personality. Bless you. Said big hugs and shalom. Oh, thank you so much. So glad you are enjoying it. I do love doing my whip and waffles. I can come in and chat to you all, and hubby can watch what he wants on the telly. Jan says, hi Rebecca and Zesties, greetings from Australia. She says, oh Rebecca, she says, you are making me so hungry. She says, talking about your chip butty. She says she was brought up having salt and vinegar on her fish and chips, she says, and there's nothing better. It is definitely an amazing thing to have. We did actually have chipper earlier this week because it's Sunday, I think maybe. The girls had already gone to Cornwall. We actually let Luna have a sausage for the first time ever. Not sure whether it agreed with her wholly, but she absolutely loved it. Carrot is a little bit too offended, I think, that she wasn't able to give it her, but that'll teach her to go on holiday, won't it? Well, yeah, Jan, there is nothing better. I agree with you there. Fish and chips with salt and vinegar is a very good staple meal to have, but your chicken salt in Australia is amazing. So don't knock that. I love combining the two. Diamond Calicaloo says, hi Rebecca, she's been away for such a long time. She's actually commented on one of the June Waffle videos, actually from the 1st of June. So she must be playing a little bit of catch up after getting back into it all. She said, it feels wonderful hearing your voice and catching up again. She says she's decided to start with my June Waffle and catch up slowly from there. She says she's always loved watching your waffles. She says nothing has changed, she said, apart from you using your multiplacer more. Yes, on some of them I have got into using it a little bit more. I think this is the main one that I haven't bothered, but I do this one flat, and apart from these sections in this top part, there is not many places to multi-place in this. When we get into the nitty gritty, it's only ever been this sky that I could. She says she was really busy with work. She says you might think, she says, after teaching for 7 years, it might get less stressful. She says, but no, that's not the case. I get that. Teaching, there is something special about those that can teach seriously. She says she might comment on each video, she says, but she will leave a little thumbs up, she says, as she gets through the... Bless you. She says it feels like binge watching your favourite series, she says, that's finally released on Netflix. She says, wishing you a lovely week of August and warm greetings, she says, from Luxembourg. Well, it's so good to see you back. It might take you a while to get to this comment, depending on how much you're getting to watch each day. But I agree, I love binge watching. I love binge listening to my series on Audible as well. It's like if I find the first book in a series as a free one and I really like it and I go to see if there's any more and there's loads of them, I get dead excited. I'm like, yay, give me them all. Inga, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says about spending money, she says, on diamond paintings and the guilt that can potentially come from that. She says for herself, she says it's not how much each painting costs. She said as she enjoys the time she spends working on them, she says, and it helps her mental health a lot. She says guilt comes more, she says, from how much she's spending overall, as each painting, same as doing cross stitch, she says, takes a while to complete, and the rest keeps sitting in the closet waiting to be done. She says she's taken Lissetti Crafts and Tell's approach, she says, of holding herself accountable and keeping an Excel spreadsheet with her diamond painting related expenses. She says number bought, number done, she says, and stash count. She says, which has helped her with her guilt, as she can see that she has not bought more paintings overall. So she's completed more than she's purchased. That's a good ratio to have. Okay. Glue dot, stop being super sticky and stop making me put these diamonds down twice. she says, so she's not bought any more paintings. She's not bought more paintings overall of getting them done, but she has been getting more premium versus budget lately. She says she hopes this makes sense. Yes, it does when I actually read what you wrote. Instead of trying to read too fast and it not working out for me. But yes, that does make sense. And sometimes it is when you end up buying more premium than budget. You know, yes, it does cost a bit more. But if you do enjoy doing those images more than the others, then I think it's worth it. I do still enjoy a budget painting here and there, but I do enjoy the luxury of a premium one as well. So, yeah, it's good to be able to have both. As long as you enjoy every image that is in your stash, that is the main thing. Nellie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's now diamond painting again. I think I have mentioned this in an earlier one after reading Nellie's comment. She says after close to 10 months of watching and waiting, she's now getting to diamond paint, which is amazing news for Nellie. Because being able to diamond paint is a big thing. Hubby actually told me today he did go to the care home, that I'd done a little gift package he'd taken a few diamond paintings into a local care home that he services some of their equipment, and they had a lady in there who was itching to diamond paint, a bit like Nellie had moved into a home and wanted to be able to do the craft. I actually sent a bag of goodies in the other day, so it's a mixture of some goodies for this lady. It was actually a fan sales that I'm not sure if the unboxing video's gone up yet, but it was a couple of things I got from fan sales off the canvas bits that I thought would be fun for them to both do and use as some fun little projects. But yeah, he sent them in today, so they were very happy with those. Christina, she says, coming back to the topic, she says, of learning how to drive. She says, are you in the UK allowed to drive out on the road if you're still learning with a family member? She says, or do you have to go to a specific place? You can drive out on the road with a family member, as long as that family member, I think it might be 3 years now. I know it used to be 2 years. The family member had, or any family or friend, had to have held their licence for at least 2 years. That might have changed. And they have to, of course, be insured. And you have to have L plates on. So you have to have learner plates on the car. But yes, you can drive on public. You can't drive on motorways. Motorways is a complete no-no until you have passed your test. You can then have lessons on a motorway if you want those, but you will have passed your test and you will be allowed on a motorway anyway at that point. She says here, she says they have special closed courses with like streets and traffic lights and everything, where you can drive with your family member. She says, but you can only drive there. She says if you were to drive without a licence on the street, she said it would be illegal. Ooh. No, we don't have that here. So you have to have a provisional licence. So you have to get a provisional licence that you can apply for when you're 16. But I think you can only start driving on the public roads and streets with a family member when you're 17. It might be different on private land. So on private land, I don't even think you need a licence on private land. Sorry, I'm trying to find where on earth. I do this every time with this pencil symbol. There it is. I'll put it in the triangles. Yeah, so I think on private land you can do it from like a really young age. But yeah, to actually drive out you have to be, I think, 17. Now some of this might be changed, or I might have gotten it wrong, but you have to be insured to drive, and the person you're driving with has to have driven for X amount of time. Though quite often, if you are going out with a family member, or even at the beginning with a driving instructor, they will often stick to the quieter streets and or take you to a car park to do some of the practice manoeuvres there. So yes, but yeah, you have to have a professional license. But most people in the UK, or at least a lot of people in the UK, get a driving instructor who drives a dual control car, so they can brake and accelerate and whatever else if they need to, and pay for lessons most of the time. Or at least in my experience, it may be different in other areas, maybe more rural areas. It's more common practice to learn with a family member. But Grey Legrand, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, ooh, she says the stash. She says she agrees with Inga02 about keeping accountable. She says, such as Lisette Crafts and Tells. She says, funny thing is, she says, working on the large painting, she says, doesn't seem so intimidating anymore. It definitely gets easier after you've diamond painted for a while, and once you've done a large painting and you then realise that it is just the same as doing a smaller one, it just takes longer. Do you know what I mean? The process itself is the same. And of course, as you build up your speed, larger ones get less and less intimidating because you get faster, so they don't take as long. She says because of diamond painting, she says she can only think of the size in centimetres. She says she tells mum, oh, it's 60 by 80, and her mum has no concept. She says 60 by 80 is the first really large diamond painting that she bought. And Alyssa Carey from Dreamer Designs, she says, and when she unrolled it on the bed and saw how big it was, she was like, oh, that's really big. She says, so now 60 by 80, she said, is her standard that she measure against when visualising the size of a diamond painting. I like that. You do get something that you end up referencing the size to. She says, but one section at a time. She says one row at a time. She said it doesn't feel so big anymore, which is so true. Oh, just throwing a diamond everywhere. She said the one she's working on right now is 55.8 by 83.7 centimetres. Sorry, let me just find my next one, which of course I can't find again. There it is. She says she's more than half finished. She says if she does need a break, she says there are a few other WIPs around here, and she did kit up a partial in round the other day. Yeah, if I ever want to break from one of my big ones that I'm doing, or whatever my main diamond painting is, that's what my sort of paint gem minis are for. It's like if I'm working on a big round one, that's my get to do a square for a bit. Or even sometimes just working on this one for the WIP and Waffle will be enough to sort of scratch that working on a square itch that I sometimes get, and it's like I want to do a square. Yeah, or I've always got some special diamond paintings that I could potentially throw in there to work on and just get that sense of accomplishment. Diamond Callie Kalu back again on her June Waffle binge watch. She says, thank you for the wonderful waffle. She says she's still working her way slowly through the videos, and especially the June waffle. She says she loves the cover paper that I used with the numbers on it for each day. She says she also had to stop the video. She said to check your website and the shop. She says, and oh my goodness, you have gorgeous new objects. Yes, we're forever finding things that just put a smile on our faces while diamond painting. That's our problem. We've got loads more in the backs of our minds as well. She says she thinks she might fill her cart in the near future. She says ever since Europe have had to pay customs for things from the UK, she prefers buying them all in one go rather than just placing small orders. She said she's also noted the advent calendar pre-order, which is now on straight order. She said this is a must-have. She says for the last 2 years, she said it was the most fun calendar she said she had for Advent. She says thank you for always putting so much thought into it. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I do love picking and pulling together and planning and plotting and the Advent all year. I think of Christmas all year. I don't think it ever particularly ends. There's always something happening for it on some day. But yeah, I love doing the Advent calendar, love putting it together, and love, as I say, finding new different things that I can do. But I get you with the whole Europe having to pay customs. What we've also found now, UK-wise, is everywhere now has to add VAT at the point of sale. Whereas before, yes, you would potentially have to pay customs when it arrived in the country, even from abroad, so from the States, etc., not just Europe. You now have to pay the VAT up front, whereas before it would be hit and miss whether you would get charged it. And to be honest, it would be more of a miss than it was a hit. So it's definitely costing us more too. Because we just can't get away with the fact that we're not likely to pay it and would only potentially get hit 1 in every 5 orders. Now we get hit every order. So that part of the whole fiasco is definitely sucks. I'm with you on that one. Whoever thought up that was not being nice. Fee, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says she's just wondering, she says, would I ever consider doing a craft meet and greet session? She says you could get tickets for it and get Giles and Sam from Diamond Art Studio roped in. She says so both of you can sell things and some profit could maybe go to charity. She said really would hope, she says, that this could happen one day. She says she knows that me and the family are really already busy. Not sure how that would work. I mean, it's not a no, but even from like Diamond Art Studio, we are a couple of hours away from each other. But yeah, might be nice to do some sort of, I don't know, suppose day where you can get a big haul and we can meet up and diamond paint maybe. Travelling with either shop to one or the other place might be a bit too much, but maybe we could see how our sort of little crafty afternoon get together could work first. Yeah, it's finding the time. As always, it's finding the time. But there you go. Time for today is done. I have completed that section. So let me just shove these out the way. Move my tray and my pots and my computer so I can put that back in. Anyone who's watched this channel for a while will know that my battery has something against me, or my camera in general has something against me. Yeah, the battery just went. But anyway, my section for today is done. We have a maximum of 6 more weeks doing just over a cover paper piece each week. But I'm going to keep an eye on my delivery of diamonds, etc. And you know, as soon as it's here or closer, I will try and maybe shove in. I might do 1 or 2 anyway, because it's definitely not going to be 6 weeks. But yeah, I may end up doing a section or 2 in between on some of them, but very close to getting finished. I'm not going to unravel any more than this, I don't think, until we get near the end for the final reveal. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll speak to you all again soon.